Her husband locked his wife to the bed frame, then swallowed some pills, intending to play a game with her. However, overcome with excitement, he suffered a heart attack and collapsed on top of her. Lisa was terrified by the sudden turn of events. She used her feet to lift her husband, trying to revive him, but to no avail. Instead, he lost balance and fell to the floor. Lisa hurriedly tried to check on him, but her hands remained firmly cuffed to the bed frame, rendering her immobile. She could only keep trying to wake her husband. Seeing the blood on the floor, Lisa had to accept the grim reality that he would not regain consciousness, and she now had to focus on saving herself. The secluded villa had no neighbors nearby. As night fell, an eerie sound suddenly came from the door. She frantically called for help, but what entered the room was a starving stray dog. Stimulated by the scent of blood, the dog slowly approached her husband's corpse. Lisa immediately swung her legs, attempting to drive the dog away, but to no effect. The ravenous dog licked the blood greedily and even began gnawing on her husband's arm. Using all her strength, Lisa managed to grab a book from above her head and hurled it at the dog. However, it merely crouched by the door, continuing to feed, refusing to leave. The helpless Lisa burst into tears. At that moment, her husband inexplicably rose from the floor. She asked him excitedly what had happened, only to realize upon closer inspection that her husband's body was in fact still lying motionless on the floor. There were now somehow two versions of her husband in the room. Lisa stared blankly at the surreal scene. One of the husbands approached her, urging her to focus on freeing herself without wasting precious time. Lisa then strained with all her might against the handcuffs, gritting her teeth through the searing pain in her hands. She finally succeeded in pulling one hand free, then forcefully snapped the bedpost. At last, unshackled, she rushed to check the door, only to find she was still cuffed to the bed. The husband beside her revealed it had all been a desperate illusion born from her yearning to be free. Lisa took deep breaths to calm herself and contemplate an escape plan. Her phone sat on the nearby nightstand. If she could just reach it, she could call for help, but it remained hopelessly out of reach. The stray dog lingered, the sound of its gnashing filling Lisa with dread. The prolonged mental strain caused her to drift off into a deep sleep. The next second, the dog fled the room as if sensing danger. Lisa too awakened from her slumber to see a terrifying, shadowy figure in the corner. He opened the box in his hands, revealing it to be filled with human bones. Lisa shut her eyes in horror, praying the nightmarish man was just a hallucination. But her husband informed her the sinister figure was likely Death himself in this thrilling film titled Gerald's Game.